Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on our test account, and that is right, the Game of Desire is up. That means the awakened version of Sophia. Now, pretty impressed with the skills and abilities. Overall, she is going to be a support hero. We haven't seen that as of right now, but being a support hero, of course, she is going to bring a lot, including the kind of pyramid, the Spectre Disruption like we see with the original version of Sophia. But overall, with the energy that's providing, the attack buffs, the shielding, the stunning, she is going to, in my opinion, guys, as of right now, all around going to be an amazing hero. Now, of course, we kick it off with the Knight of Stars like we've seen before. So you do get some diamonds out of here. You also do get your 10 time emblems to go ahead and build her. Now, currently, it seems like she is probably going to be right on the same path that we're seeing with the awakened version of Solus. Now, of course, Solus was released about a year ago now, which means that she is going to be the new hot support hero that everyone is looking to build. But wait to build her. I cannot stress that enough, guys. When it comes to the awakened heroes, and there's going to be another hero we're talking about in this video as well, but when it comes to the awakened heroes, they have to be built. They require a very high investment. Also build out when it comes to the signature items, when it comes to the furniture and the engraving as well. It is very expensive to build them. So if you're in the process of building other heroes, it seems like either one of two things are going to happen, guys. Either number one, you're only going to need really one copy of her to get that ultimate ability, to really functionality, base skills with her to make a big difference. This could be the case. Now, we did see early game, mid game with the awakened version of Solus. Worked incredibly well in a ton of different game modes, even having a very basic version. Now we're going to have to see if that is the exact same case. Because remember, guys, when you're building out the awakened version of Sophia, you are going to have that SP effect, which again, we're going to have to see the impact of it. But I think overall it might be good. So we might have a case where continue building the current hero that you're building. However, picking up one copy of the awakened version of Sophia could also be very, very intuitive when it comes to progression, when it comes to AFK Arena. Now, the second hero that we do look at, and I want to check out some places to get time emblems, because I know there are a lot of newer players to AFK Arena. So let's check that out really quick. So looking at the Game of Desire, again, we'll get some scrolls out of here. We do get 10 of our time emblems out of here. We usually get, I believe last time it was 10 or 12 out of the warm-up. And then the Dune of Darkness gave us another 10, which gives us around 32 from here. Now, in addition, when the awakened version of Sophia drops, we do get 50 right off the bat. Now, they're awarding us 50 right off the bat with the awakened heroes that are being dropped. This was the change they actually did a considerable amount ago, which means 50 free cards out of there, guys. Now, the biggest thing I want to stress when it comes to building out these heroes are these cards right here. The time emblems out of here, you can see we already own 121 of these. You get one of these every day, which means you get 30 of these every single month. You have to buy them out. If you ever want a possibility or a chance to be able to build out these heroes within AFK Arena, you have to buy these out every single day without a doubt, guys. Now, the second thing, of course, the Dream Store, exact same thing. The time emblems should be the absolute priority. When you look at the Celestials and Hypogeans, you can focus build them with the Stargazer. You can also get lucky with some of the Elite Stones. But overall, when it comes to this game mode, you want to pick up the time emblems. Rings true with the Guild Store as well, guys. Getting the 10 time emblems out of here every single month. Every single place that you can get time emblems, you have to get time emblems. Again, I cannot stress that enough, guys. The Awakened heroes are by far the absolute strongest heroes within AFK Arena. As you continue to build them, as we continue to see progression in them, some of the older heroes, like right here with the Awakened version of Thane, will still have kind of a niche place. We see him a little bit when it comes to PvP, but it seems like some of the older Awakened heroes are falling a little bit down, further down the list. Even looking at the Awakened version of Taylene, short of the Celestial Tower right now, we're not seeing play with her really anywhere at this point. And again, as these heroes, similar to the regular 4 factions, these Celestials and Hypogeans, there's a point where the Awakened heroes will essentially be replacing themselves in formations or with viability, looking at the builds. Now, with that being said, guys, the Awakened version of Belinda is still the priority. She is still by far the number 1 priority in AFK Arena. Even looking at Sophia coming in as a support hero, even if you run together with Sophia and Belinda in the same comp, Belinda is still going to be the massive damage dealer that we see within AFK Arena. And so far, again, depending on where Sophia's ultimate ability or the AoE damage that she does, similar to Ain's, similar to the awakened version of Belinda. She does damage on the entire battlefield, which again is going to be really interesting to see how this kind of plays out. But honestly, if they make her a support hero that does as much damage as the awakened version of Belinda, I don't see that possible. I don't see her damage scaling that high that it's essentially going to replace or run side by side or in another comp with the awakened version of Belinda. In addition, with Sophia's skill, it applies a just like the spectral disruption that she has currently, it applies that on the allied side, which means we could see a possible resurgence of heroes like Iran or even the 5-pull to pull all of the enemies into that ability. I'm drawing a blank on the name of the ability right now, but it is very similar to the spectral disruption. So pulling them in there and them dying in there, getting the kill in there might make a big difference. I feel like there are going to be a lot of changes to formations with the awakened version of Sophia. Now, with that being said, guys, looking at the priority again with Damia, Damia is a hero, of course, the mage, kind of mage support, continuous damage. Overall, guys, she is making a huge presence in AFK Arena, and it almost makes me think that she's kind of leaning a lot more towards a support hero than we're seeing Sophia being actual support, Solus being actual support, because she is a super strong buffer. We are seeing her showing up in every single game mode as players continue to build her, as they continue to really acquire her through the Stargazer. She is just going to be more prevalent in formations. We're seeing her in the Twisted Realm, the Cursed Realm, Nightmare Corridor, even working her way into Treasure Scramble teams. We're seeing her in campaign formations. We're also seeing her in the Temple Rift, guys. Super impressed with the hero. Not only similar kind of to a star, not only seeing her as a buffer within a formation, but also seeing her as a group buffer and really a damage dealer where a star can deal a considerable amount of damage. In the right formations, guys, Damia is doing an incredible amount of damage. And she also is, of course, the Celestial. The Celestial Tower not only needs buffers, but they also need damage dealers to really be able to push progression within the tower. And speaking of the towers, guys, this is probably the absolute biggest places that you need to push, guys. The faction towers, I cannot stress that enough. The importance of pushing every one of these towers every single time that it is up, because this is going to be one of the huge things when it comes to getting these time emblems. Again, you want to focus and you really want to build every single place you can get time emblems. This is a place you do get them, and you do have all 6 towers that you can get the time emblems out. So if you're farming on a consistent basis, you could be yielding, 10, 20, 30 of these cards every single time, especially with the trial version. For majority of players, the Mauler Tower is the most difficult tower, because right now we only have the awakened version of Brutus. And similar to what we see with the Graveborn Tower, Graveborns are a super strong faction that it has a lot of synergy between them, where the Mauler faction does not quite have the synergy that we see within the Graveborn faction, making it a lot more difficult to actually push tower progression within AFK Arena. Now, with that being said, guys, we have Salakai, we have Nemitsu. I'm not going to count Alero as support because I don't really feel like he is. But now with the awakened version of Sophia, you're going to have 3 support heroes to run in 3 different tower formations, which again is going to make a game changer when it comes to progression. So guys, overall, we're going to have to wait and see exactly where Sophia is coming in. If we're seeing her, that is going to be best in slot in a bunch of different comps, which looking at her build, it seems like she might be. Couple of hesitations is when you look at the Nightmare Corridor, when you look at a couple of the other game modes, because of her ability being on the allied side, and a lot of the bosses do not move, they're actually stationary. We're going to have to see exactly where she is going to come in these formations. So once she is released, we'll be able to check out skills and abilities like we did a little bit earlier today, but we're also going to be able to see with the trial version exactly where she is going to be used. Sorry guys, so that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and as always, thank you guys for watching.